So, okay. Hey, Aaron.
Get ready, everyone. Kathy with a K to end out the week. Hello, welcome. Thank you for
Hello.
joining me.
Thank you for
And
having me.
I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait, especially with the problems I had technically this week. I just couldn't wait.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for dipping out of Governor David Ige's chat with the state.
Oh, you know, let's make some couple rules here for today because
No,
Ige's
no politics.
no pop. Hey, I've been talking about Ige all week. All right, I'm tired of talking about Ige, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna have fun today. We're not gonna talk about
I'm paying
Coronas.
attention to you. I'm just trying to get this baby hair action out of my face. Okay.
Get yeah, the right angle. I wear a different shirt in honor of the guest that I have.
I want to
So
guess. I was hoping it would be something with Sade or the police. But
okay, because
you wouldn't know that I'm into either of those things.
I wanted to swerve you because yes, I do have a Sade shirt. Okay, and yes, I do have a police shirt. But I wanted to just throw you off, and
Okay.
I throw you off with this. So I'm wearing the Vision Streetwear, the Gator
Oh,
Vision Streetwear design from the '80s, back in the day, as we talked about on the interview. Mark Gator Rogowski, the murderer, took the girlfriend and put her in a body bag. And where
I'm
is he?
smiling because I'm remembering our conversation, not smiling at that horribly graphic retelling in the documentary. It's just
Yes. I just wanted to throw you off. I found the shirt. I was like, wow, we talked about this. It'll be kind of like crazy. I've never worn this shirt in forever. So there you have it.
so you're a
Gator.
hoarder of music and of clothing. Like, did you
Yes.
go digging in like storage? Just like, honey, where's that box of my shirts? She's like,
Yeah.
what box? I thought you donated. You're like, nothing. Not.
No.
I'm cleaning.
We ain't going nothing. Out of records. We're going to get into records in a bit
Okay.
because I'm going to angle with the records. Get your records, whatever you got to do. We're talking albums here. We're going to be talking, I guess we'll start off talking about, speaking of Gator, okay, I don't know if you know this, but he's eligible for parole. He passed like the first steps to be released, which
Mhm.
is insane. And he's been in jail since like early 90s. So for being the horrific thing that he did, it's crazy that we just talked about him in the interview in February, and he is actually eligible for parole, and he might get out. So
He's going to be
there you go.
denied. He's denied.
He has to be denied, right? There's
Yeah.
no way. Yes. So we're not talking Coronas. We're not talking Ige. We're not talking Caldwell. We might talk about Mufi. I don't know. How was your day? How was your week?
Great.
Everything going okay with you?
Yeah, yeah. I actually have some more work to do after this. So, yeah.
Oh,
So thank
I
you for your
see.
patience.
Anytime. Don't worry. You are an essential worker. You are part of the media. You're at work right now. Obviously,
Yes. Yes, I'm
you're
in a corner of my production studio.
the production studio.
Yeah.
And was this the same area that we did the interview back in February?
Yes.
For the didn't know. Okay. So do you want to talk about that? Is that okay to talk about?
Sure.
Did,
What
did
would
you
you
have?
like to talk about? I think I edited it where everything is in the interview, you know?
Well, maybe we go back to that for the people that don't know. I guess like because it was 3 hours we talked.
My name's Kathy with a K. I'm a radio broadcaster in Honolulu. And as a hobby, I do this Hawaii POV, a talk story series, and they're just people that I chat up with. Aaron's talk story was close to 3 hours. And then when I closed the camera and the recording, we talked story for another like 30 or 45 minutes. And I was just like, oh, we could just go in different tangents about all kind of different stuff. But I was
Yes, it was very.
hungry. I think that's when we usually kind of peel out of things, like kind of fatigue and the need for sustenance and hydration sets in. It's like, I gotta tap out, bro.
There was that, and then let's go take a tour, which was kind of like the precursor to like let's get out of here already. So yes,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
did that.
yeah.
Let's go see Flash, and then let's get out of
Oh
there.
yeah,
So
yeah. It was a
you,
weekday.
the
It was
recording studio.
February. I want to say it was February 26th. It was a weekday, and the coronavirus, COVID-19, was not yet impacting our islands in the
No,
fashion. It was still kind of like we're talking about
exactly.
um, what would happen, what might happen, kind of thing. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just tread into COVID-19 list of things not to talk about. but that kind of
Well,
coincides with
uh,
your interview.
it's going to come up because it's going to ask, like, why were we meeting to interview when we're having all this? Well, it was before all of this. It was in February. It's on YouTube, on Kathy with a K's YouTube channel.
Oh, it's also
It
on
is,
Facebook. Yeah, you
right.
could like look up hashtag Hawaii POV Aaron
Yeah.
Sakai, and you can find it on YouTube. That's how it can pop up.
But yes. Spill my guts. Candid interview. Tell it all. Hid nothing. Right? I mean,
I don't know. I never talked to you about you, so you know it's
yeah.
yeah.
I don't like talking about me. So that you asked me pretty much a very wide array of stuff, and I answered it as candidly as I could, and I think we had fun with it. It was fun.
So each one, I'm learning more about what I want to do with like the video editing and things. But because I have a radio background, everything's audio. So when I'm editing, that's how I'm doing it. I don't not paying attention to what's on the screen, and then so that's why my earlier talk stories are really like these crazy jump cuts, and now it's
Yeah.
like now I know more.
That is your unique style that I've noticed with all of the other previous videos. Like a shout out to DJ Slant's video. Flash was on there. But yeah, you have that interesting style of the jump cut, and you're very intuitive in how you ask the questions, and it's you make the person comfortable and all that, which makes the best interview and gets them to be most candid. So it was great. I had a blast.
Yeah, you were super comfortable. Yeah,
I liked
up
it.
your feet. You was going to the fridge. I was just like, wow, this guy. I mean, like right
Hands
on.
off, Dan. It was fun. I mean, get the flash. Yes, I got it.
Oh, it's like tag out. It's like, okay, bye. Gotta go. Yeah. Okay.
Well, at first I was weirded out. Well, honestly, at first I was weirded out, not in the fact of talking with you, but to talk about me, because I don't like talking about me. In all seriousness, I don't like asking people when asking me questions. I don't like to reveal a lot, and so that was weird.
That's why I'm like one auntie. You're going to answer me.
Talk to me. I know. So it was weird at first, just to talk about my. We're gonna start getting into the music already. We're starting to do this. I'm gonna stand up. Okay, I need to stand up. I gotta get out of this chair. Okay, get ready. Kathy with a K's top 5 albums. I'm just gonna grab random albums around here, and I'm gonna give you like the history of what that means, as it's a top album for me.
We'll meet one to one.
Right here, ready to go. Now this is Pete Rock and CeeLo Smooth. The main ingredient. This is the second album from Pete Rock and CeeLo Smooth. This came out in 1994. They broke up after this album, not too long after. They Reminisce, that was on the first album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm familiar with them.
Yeah, they got very popular from that song, and that was their hit. And then from there, they put this one out, and it kind of fell under the cracks. Because 94 was kind of a boom period for all, Notorious B.I.G., Nas, all of them were starting to make their moves, Gang Starr. So then this kind of fell in the cracks. It's an excellent album. Anybody that knows Pete Rock, CeeLo Smooth back in the mid-90s, it's a great underrated album. Some say even better than their first album, but it was just sad that they broke up immediately after. It's a great cover, too. It's like them in the studio. It's like you can see this. I got the glare here, but then it's a great shot of Pete Rock, CeeLo Smooth. Their last album, 1994. So that's all I got.
Yeah. So I had suggested to Aaron that we select 5 albums, full-length albums on vinyl, because I'm building up my library. I had a library, I sold it, and just over the years, bought, sold. And so now I'm working on my top 100 vinyl pieces. So the first one.
How about it?
It's U2 Under the Blood Red Sky. It's a live album, live at Red Rocks. I just really fell in love with going to shows because of this. And I've been to many, 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 many concerts and flown to the mainland to see shows.
You bring up a good point. Okay, so hearing a concert album in your headphones, in your Walkman, is a trip. Because I remember listening to the Boogie Down Productions live in Europe album. Did a live concert in Europe, and they recorded it on tape. And just hearing crowd noises and then improvising, it's the craziest thing. Hearing that for the first time, mind-blowing.
The audio requirements in order to get the instrumentation and also get the crowd noise. It's like you're getting all this information and then you're taking it to a studio and fine-tuning it and cleaning it up.
Right.
It's Yeah, audio, it makes such a difference. I never
Yes.
take that for granted. So I apologize if the audio is subpar right now.
We got to do this based off a couple weeks ago. Uh, RZA took on DJ Premier, the epic battle on Instagram. Everybody saw it. I don't know anybody that didn't see it at this point. And RZA started off the battle with this. Now, Genius, the Jizza, Liquid Swords, this is the album Liquid Swords, but he started off with the song Liquid Swords, if you can see it. I got that glare, I know. But then, there you go, like that. So you can see that.
When did you buy
Crazy.
it?
This was bought in 1995. This came out.
So
Mid
you
to late
just had
90s.
it and you never like, you had it on cassette and then you bought this, or you got it on vinyl straight up?
Yeah, I was always like cassette first and then buy the vinyl. I was never a CD guy. I just never got into CDs for some strange reason. I always liked vinyl because it just was a good keepsake, and you get to hold this thing, and then you get to pull out, and then you never know what kind of. Sometimes they'll have labels on the lining on the paperwork, and just gatefold covers, and just was always a keepsake, a good keepsake to me. And excellent album, and I think one of the best Wu-Tang albums, one of the best Wu-Tang albums RZA produced. And the Genius is one of the best rappers that nobody really talks about when they mention the Wu-Tang Clan. So, and they were just made super relevant just a couple weeks ago with the RZA premiere battle. So
Who did
I'll
the
put that
artwork
up.
for that?
This one I think is one of the guys from Wu-Tang,
Hmm.
if I'm not mistaken. Because RZA's an artist too. I would not be surprised. I gotta look that up. But then I wouldn't be surprised this was them that made the art. Because RZA's all into this. And he has kung fu cartoons now, so he's very heavily into art,
When
drawing.
you were a kid, did you go to the Kung Fu movies at the Empress Theater, or is that like, that was probably before your time? You're probably not alive then.
Yeah, I guess I'll put this back here while I'm doing this. Shout out to Gator. I don't know why I'm saying that. He's a murderer. But let's put this record back here. Oh, what we got? Oh, wow. Wow. Wait a minute.
Oh, oh.
There
And I
you
saw
go.
who your guest is on Tuesday. Oh my God, I'm such a so
Here
this
we
just
go.
reminds me of my grandma Mary, my mom's mom.
Okay.
And when I used to sleep over her home,
Oh, we
it
don't.
was,
Wait, what happened?
hmm?
Okay.
No, I used
Baba
to
Jam.
sleep over her home, and we would listen to the local music station, and you know, I wouldn't know. I don't understand Hawaiian. I don't speak Hawaiian. I went to school on Maui where we had to learn songs in Hawaiian. My alma mater is all in Hawaiian, so that's the only Hawaiian I know, and it's just like talking about flying breadfruit and things like that. But yeah, but I love this album.
Now, this may look familiar.
It does.
It looks familiar. It might be something you've seen before. All right.
Yes.
This is where we got the logo for Sleep Time's Over, Kevin and I. This is Show and AG, Showbiz and AG, their second album. This came out in 95 as well. A bunch of stuff came out in 95, and this one too got lost in the shuffle. Big time lost in the shuffle. This was another good one. It was their second album. If you remember, they had a song called The Party Groove with Kid Capri. They had it was 91 that they came out with that, and that was a big dance hit for them. But they're pretty much hardcore, digging in the crates. Fat Joe came from these guys, Lord Finesse, that genre of hip hop, and a very underrated album. DJ Premier did production on this, and this is where we got. Cabot had this in Light Sleeper store just on the wall, and I kept telling him, we got to make a logo. We got to have a logo for the show. Like, we need something like can put us like as a brand. And he's like, I get him, man. I'm like, okay. Weeks, nothing. And like, we got to come up with a logo. And then so he finally, I was like, let's pick out like an album cover. We parody an album cover. And then I was just looking like, what kind of album cover? And I was just looking around, and I saw that. I'm like, hey, it's kind of like if you go SLEEP and then you go over and then you go times. I think that could work. And it's just, we're making fun but honoring this, which
You're inspired by rather than parroting.
inspired by, yes.
That's just me. I I have a different selection of words and things.
You're in media. That's where you're coming in handy for this.
I
You're
try to.
so
Try to be
so shout out.
diplomatic.
This is where we got the logo for Sleep Time's Over. This is it. Showbiz and AG, 1995. There you go. I'm 3 down. Here we go. Here we go. There she goes. What is she pulling out? The
That's
joke
what she
there, huh?
said.
Thank you. Well played. Wow. That's it. Shut it down. We're going.
Oh, my favorite thing. I thought if I would ever do like a drag review, girl, I would do the what is it, Data Titta. So funny. So funny.
I was not
And wear
expecting you
one
to pull.
armband that says boy to tell you to apart. Yes. This. You gotta, if you want to be laughing and happy, right?
I wasn't. That's great. That's an excellent pick. That is
I
excellent.
think so. That's why I
Unreal.
thought it would make you laugh. It would be funny.
And it worked.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you a question about this album, okay, and involving today as well. Why do you think in Hawaii there hasn't been a replacement of a rap replinger of a back in the day Andy Bumatai? Like, why are there no comedians now locally that can do the type of singing and just showmanship and just put on a show like a Frank DeLima? Why can't none of these guys do that? I don't see any of them. Why did that die?
I couldn't like name off names, but I've seen them like all up in YouTube, and they end up
Right, but not.
on.
Would it be able to do a stage show? Like, would it be able to go, like, say, to the Royal Hawaiian, or the Monarch Room, and then fill them in, and then do a show with skits and songs and talking monologues and just a whole, like a Bob Hope-esque, like what Andy Bumatai would do. He would just, he would do straight up stand. But Frank DeLima would do song after song, skit after skit, bring Mel Kabang out. Can we see that ever return? Is there anybody that can do that? Like, hey, here he is. And I don't know. Whenever I see Rap Replinger or Bumatai, it always takes me back to that era of comedy in Hawaii, which was just so gold.
I think
it was so
they
great.
Already do. These individuals are already performing and doing that, and they are presenting it like this already. So it's another thing to like have the full production in Waikiki in a showroom. The overhead is different. Everything is priced out differently. Right. But there are a lot of talented cats. It's just a matter of doing a little bit of digging in the files online to find them and just like looking at hashtags because they're there. They're there. But it's a different generation. I mean, you were raised up, when you would be at your mom's hotel and you would go and check out the different showrooms and things. So that is something that you were weaned on, and you're like, that's legit. That is total street cred.
Right. So there's that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind going to somebody's show and he does like a skit, or he does like a song and he puts it all together. Well, that's another topic.
I saw Frank DeLima at Blue Note. I'd never seen a show before. And I went to see it. And Bumatai hosts, I think, was there, right? What is it, like comic to comic or comedian to comedian kind of thing? Or he was hosting that. It was like once a month or once every other month. So that's cool.
I would love to talk to Andy Bumatai. He's my idol.
If you talk to him before I do, I'll be so upset. I wouldn't be upset.
Bumatai, what are you talking about? You've never had an interview with Bumatai?
No.
Seriously. Wow. I would have thought this had been done already. You guys like hanging out, you shake hands, this kind of thing.
Without anything recording it.
Oh, got it. Okay, got it. Okay. All right, so I'm back to standing. I'm standing around, I'm looking around here. I'm going to have to go with the heavy hitter. I happen to have it on my wall.
Hi, Monty. Yeah, I watch Andy too. He has that Pidgin English thing.
Well, that's right. It's just, well.
And I'm sorry, I would say hi to everybody, but I have another screen in front of my camera. So thank you for sticking around.
Shout out DJ Static. Yes, he's here.
Tribe.
And I got to put this one up. This is the heavy hitter. So I don't have a top 5 I can throw out to you, but I have a number 1. And this is my number 1 all-time favorite album in the hip-hop world. Forever. Low End Theory, Tribe Called Quest. This is the second album of the Tribe Called Quest. Top to bottom, million mics rating. Not even 5 mics. It's 1 million mics. How is that possible? I don't know, but it's 1 million mics. And it's the quintessential perfect album. Hip-hop altogether.
What does it open with and what does it close with?
Oh, then you got to go Excursions. You remember Excursions? That's just to make sure. Yes, it's Excursions was the first one. Ends with Scenario. Here we go.
That's strong. Really strong. Yeah.
radio in general played that song a lot. Busta Rhymes was on there, as you know. It's just like it's the quintessential from top to bottom. It brought everybody together as far as the hip hop genres. If you're a gangster rap guy, you love this album. If you're a New York guy, you love this album. If you're anywhere, you love this album. This set the tone for who I was as a person. This set the tone for who I was as far as musically, how hip hop evolves, and how you can tell someone, I don't like that rap stuff. It sounds like this. Oh, well, why don't you hear this? And let me know what you think. It's not it's not Vanilla Ice. It's not MC Hammer. And then that's how you would educate back in the day someone who didn't know. And that would be #1 all time. But this is my 4th album, not the final one. So I'm gonna put that down there.
What was the first?
Winter.
What was the first Tribe 12-inch that you bought?
Oh, El
Or did
Segundo.
you just get an album just straight?
I got El Segundo because I had a great picture cover. I don't have it with me, but you have it?
Oh no, that was like the first single I bought. I left my wallet in El Segundo. So I gotta get it. I got to get it. But I don't know. Okay, so I don't know musical lyrics. I know hooks or barely like titles. So when people like throw things at me, if I say something and I throw it back, I'm like, what are you doing? Like I would recognize it, but I wouldn't be able to tell you what year, who engineered it or anything like that. Yeah.
Right. That's the nerd.
I used to know. No, I used to have like back. I had a copy of the Trouser Press, which was an alternative. Like, are you familiar with it?
Yes, I can't believe you just mentioned that of all things.
That's yeah. Crazy. So I used to like have. There were books in the studio when I was at Radio Free Hawaii, and then when I worked at subsequent radio stations, I would, if I got like a drawer or a storage area in the studio, I would have like Billboard books and Trouser Press. I want to say like the alternate press, but I just liked all that kind of information. I just thought it was like really neat why somebody would be working with one band and they would actually be in a lesser known band that was technically proficient and just like amazing, but they didn't have the broad reaching commercial equity as like another band. It was just, so I love that. I was just like, yeah, so Trouser Press. Yeah.
Okay, here we are. This is your 4th one. We're closing in here.
Okay. Well, I mean, because I like to separate the genres. That's why.
Okay, got it.
But the love of my life.
Oh.
Because
Shocker.
he signed it too.
And yeah.
Sting. So it's Sting. Yeah. So it's Sting.
Look at that shot. There we go. That's a shot. That's that to Kathy. That's it. That is it. What year did you get this autographed?
I did get it autographed.
What year was this that you got it autographed?
I got it autographed?
Yeah.
It's like 2016.
Oh, okay.
When he was here? 2016.
Okay.
All the women on the floor, like he came to our studios. And yeah, so it was just like all the women came out of the woodwork and I was like, Sting. And he put his arm around me because it was totally okay. Totally okay. 2016.
Different time.
Yeah. Oh, I'm flooding your hip hop channel with Sting.
Oh, wow. That's a shot of Sting. If that is, look at that. Oh,
I'm
boy.
such a dork. Such a dork. Oh, I also have art. Yeah, I have other art then. I'll just show other art.
Oh.
There.
How about it? Oh, massive surprises. This was the only expected one of all of them thus far. The Sting choice from you. Because you mentioned Sting time. Because I was expecting Sting to be in the mix for these 5.
Hip hop. I'm surprised you didn't pull out any like punk albums or anything. It's just like
yeah, I got a lot of punk stuff. It's all in the storage, and I just couldn't. It took me forever to find this, So, all right, let's see what we got here. Let's pull something out. We're pulling something out. Let's go with. Well, let's do this. I don't know. Let's just leave this for the end. We might as well leave this for the end.
Bro.
Let's go. We got to do it.
I was thinking about it.
We got to do it. I mean, nothing really more needs to be said. I don't need to go into any long description here. I think everybody's going to know what's going on here at Kalapana. Kalapana against, well, who? What other groups you think would battle Kalapana in? Oh, you got something?
My number one.
Oh, here we go. Let's go.
Wait, what year did that come out?
This was, what is it, 74? 74, 75. 75.
So this album came out in 1979.
Yeah.
And, or should I build it up? It is also a Hawaii artist.
Yeah.
And this, like, my heart's racing when I think about this album, and I get really emotional just because
Yeah.
there's certain albums you get introduced to it and then you revisit it and then it means something else because another kind of experience. But
Yeah.
I don't know if this could, I keep on going back to it. How's that?
Okay. This is exciting already. Here we go. Wow. Wow.
The musicianship, just we could do a whole chit chat about that kind of thing, like, you know. But
We could definitely. It's in great condition too, by the way. That copy you got looks in perfect condition.
yeah,
On camera.
People just put it in sleeves and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah. I don't have any sleeves. I don't put anything in. I'm not a sleeve kind of guy. So.
But yeah, all the albums I have, I actually play. You know, it's just like if the covers get messed up, it's like covers. I mean, they're art, but they're meant to protect the actual record. You know,
Right.
It's just a bonus. Everything's a bonus.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was my number.
That's it.
That was good.
That was great. You covered all genres. You surprised me with everything. The Sting one was great just to hear you talk about Sting, because I know you love Sting. And I was expecting.
Sting story. I have a Sting story.
Oh, here we go.
Oh.
You say that, you build that up, and you got to say it. You got to say
I'm
something.
not building it up. I'm just saying I have a Sting story.
Well, you said it dramatically. I don't know. We're going to go into something exciting. No? Maybe?
What's that?
Your Sting story. What,
no.
What do you want?
Did you want to talk
story?
about Bill Cosby?
We're going to talk about Bill Cosby?
Robin Williams? It's nothing scandalous. It was January 2010. And there were other people, never alone with him. It was just, that was it.
All was fine.
Yeah.
Different
Stop recording, then I'll tell you.
Yes, that was on the deleted footage of the DVD. It's totally fine. Robin Williams, we did not discuss. You have a Robin Williams story that you wanted to share here? You just met him, or what happened?
No, he had the Weapons of Self-Destruction tour. So Bill Cosby was like January 2010 when he did 2 standing room only shows at the Blaisdell Concert Hall. And then in November, December of the same year, Robin Williams had tacked on a Honolulu show at the Blaisdell Arena.
Yeah.
For that, and he performed. And our promotions person at the time was she was really great about getting all us radio folks, like, hosting something. So she asked the promoter if she could have somebody from the station, you know, just introduce. It's like, well, we have a CD. We actually have something that's pre-produced. We don't have anybody on any of the shows, but we'll ask. And then it came back. It's like, you know, we can't pay her, but you know, we'll give her tickets to the show. I didn't spend as much time with Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams, when you would hear stories about how he's really in the pocket and he's like really engaged with you, that's very true. He's never not distracted. He's just and he was ready to come out to the stage, and there was like about a few minutes, and the promoter was like, "Do you want to meet Robin?" And I'm like, "Oh, I would love to meet Mr. Williams." And then so I was brought around and I was introduced, and he's like, "Oh, he's like, Kathy." He's like, "Kathy, good to meet you. My name's Robin." I'm like, "Thank you, Mr. Williams. Just like for letting us do that." He's like, "Yeah, you know." It's like, "Are you okay?" He's like, "Did you get good seats?" You know, but it was like this really nice, engaging moment. But after the show, the promoter's like, "Do you want to come back and like hang out backstage?" And there were all these. It was amazing. All these people that had flown in for the show. Like I recognized all these celebrities, but I didn't know their names. Like all these character actors, and I was seated next to Colin Mockery from Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Oh.
He's the guy with a lot of face. But if you look him up,
I
yeah. But yeah.
recognize. Okay. And so you're just backstage hanging out, and then what else happened backstage? You
Oh
just
no,
got to meet
I
up.
ended up leaving. I didn't want to hang out. I just got my
Oh,
picture and I just left because there were just so many people, and I thought that's really exhausting to have people. You just got off stage, and then there's people that want to just say hi, and just maintaining that level of engagement.
yeah.
And that's when I learned that being backstage, or just even meeting somebody who's working, because he's working until he leaves, really,
Right.
he totally
Yeah.
understood, or he seemed to understand the celebrity aspect of it. I mean,
Such a
obviously,
dream. Yeah.
but yeah, I don't ever want to overstay my welcome.
Right. Because that's just us being respectful amongst them, and we don't want to. Yeah. That's the Hawaii in us, I think. I don't know. We don't want to bother too much because we see them getting bothered a lot, so we don't want to. Yeah.
How about you? You're ever fanboyed out?
Meeting Ric Flair. WWF was coming to Hawaii. This was during 2003. This was during The Rock. He was still part of the roster. So they all came for a big show in Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
They were staying at the Sheraton Waikiki Hotel. So my mom, who used to work at the Sheraton Waikiki Hotel, would tell me, hey, all the wrestlers are coming in. They're going to be coming in. They're not telling the media nothing. They're just going to sneak them all in. Do you want to come and just hang out and watch? I'm like, shit, yeah. So I'm going in there, and I just sit there. I'm waiting. They're coming up the escalator, going to the ballroom, and I'm just sitting there, just sitting there, nothing. At 2003, I had a very crappy cell phone, so I'm not taking pictures. I'm not texting anybody. I'm just. And then finally, so they have the ticket. They have their itineraries laid out on the table, and there's this one lady who's going to hand out each wrestler individually their hotel key and their itinerary, every single one. So she's over there, and she doesn't know anything about wrestling. So she sees me there, and she's like, "Do you think you can help me? Because I don't know who's who." And I'm like, "Okay." So then I like, "What do we do?" And then so then, oh, they're going to be coming up the escalator shortly, so they just hand out their tickets. I'm like, all right. So then I'm literally like by the top of the escalator, just like waiting with all these other things, doing that, and they're all coming up one after the other, and they don't go by their stage name. A lot of them have their real name, so I'm calling them by their stage name, wrestler name. Because, oh no, it's actually my name is this. I'm like, I'm sorry, here's your ticket.
Yeah.
And I was doing that, and then finally they're all bunched up there. Everybody's wandering around talking. I'm just like, oh my god, what the hell? And then Ric Flair comes up to me and goes, you know where the bathroom is? I really got to pee. I'm like, it's over here, Rick. And I was like, oh, God, this is great. And then that was when I totally freaked out. And then that was just totally ridiculous. And, yeah. So you had all of them were there. Rock was there. Steve Austin was there. Ric Flair was there. The Stephanie McMahon, the daughter to Vince McMahon, was there. As far as like the heavy hitters, this was a big show because they were supposed to go to Japan and tour there. So that's one thing when it comes to mind, just to see everybody in there. And I was the only like fan literally there amongst. This is like heaven.
Did you have anything autographed or any pictures in somebody? No.
I mean, if anything, my mom came out and he had me meet like Stephanie McMahon. So I got to meet Stephanie McMahon, the McMahon family. Mm-hmm. I got to meet Triple H, who was the husband. Batista, who's in Guardians of the Galaxy, as you know, Dave Batista.
I love him.
How's it going? I'm Dave Batista. And I'm like, and at that time, popular. So I'm like, all right, Triple H, how you doing?
Yeah.
Batista looked so sad. He was like,